Hey y'all. So today I'm gonna be making I have HEB pre-seasoned riblets, and I'm going to fry them all, but half I'm gonna just fry and the other half I'm gonna smother. And then which I actually added I added some more of my seasoning to it, just a little bit. Um and then I'm gonna make Spanish rice out of brown rice, and I'm gonna do homemade mashed potatoes. So I have some fresh parsley, and if you're a beginning cook, should I say, and you don't have any fresh, if you don't have any dried chives or green onion, then you can use fresh parsley. And the chopped onions are for my Spanish rice, and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm gonna do with that in a minute. And so I used HEB chicken broth and Better Than Bouillon um, for my potatoes to boil it in for seasoning. And I have some sunflower oil and vegetable oil. And the reason that I don't remember why I got the sunflower oil, but when I remember, I'll drop it down in the comments. But I'm gonna use half and half, and we're gonna see how that come out because I never did that before. So we're gonna see how it come out. And my favorite, French style green beans, which the onions is my favorite too because I eat them with salt and pepper just by themselves. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is my chicken broth and my bouillon, which this is about how much, because I'm not a measuring cooker. So this is about how much you want to use with just a little bit, maybe a half a cup of chicken broth, but I also added water to it so it don't be too, because if you add too much bouillon and too much chicken broth, it can become a little sticky type, like filmy. So I added water to it with a pinch of salt to boil good. So this one right here, this right here, we're going to take some chopped onion, and we are also going to take some HEB chicken broth, and then a little bit. I'm not going to put as much uh, the better than bouillon in this because you don't need to. You just, I mean, it's up to you, however you want to do it if you're first doing it. And so give me just a second and I'll be right back. Let me open up the tomato sauce. Okay, y'all, while I'm opening the tomato sauce, let me also tell y'all the reason that I'm doing this is because God has spoke to me, and he wants me to tell my story. He wants me to tell my testimony. And when he brought it to me this last time, it was about 3 weeks ago. And he said that I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. Because when you're going through things and you feel like, you know, why me? Or so he wanted to make that very clear to me. And he asked me to make videos and tell my story. I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, it could mean a lot of different things, depending on who you are, and what your situation is right now. For me, it meant family and the things that happen within my family. And while I'm telling this, I want y'all to please understand and please know that I'm I'm not coming to you saying I'm innocent. My hands are clean. I'm coming to tell my story, the truth and how it happened. And maybe somebody else that I'm speaking about will see uh will see this, and maybe their perception of it is different. But I'm gonna tell you how it happened with me. But before I do that, this is what this is my Spanish rice. And usually I'll add like some cumin or some a little bit of rosemary and thyme, but I don't have that right now. So I'm you can do it like this with just white onion or yellow onion, purple onion, whichever onion is your favorite. My favorite is white onion. And so it's and then you pour a little bit of tomato sauce. That's where the redness come in. And I don't know if you've been to like parties and um events and you see Spanish rice with corn in it. If you want to add corn in it, you can. So yeah. And I'm also going to add a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it, and I'm just gonna let it boil. So while that's boiling, I can continue to tell y'all my story as God wants me to tell it. And I just felt like some things you want to keep to yourself, right? A lot of things, and you're supposed to. My grandmother told me that some stuff you keep to yourself. However, when God is leading you and guiding you, and He's telling you to do something, and the reason that uh, he put you in these positions, you know, or maybe even because we have our own free will. So maybe we put ourselves in positions and situations that we didn't have to. And then God, He's there with us. So I'm not the first, the last, and the only. I never thought that I was the first, the last, and the only while going through what I was going through. But I did feel, growing up in church, I felt alone at the time. I felt alone, and I felt the family was just going this. Everybody was just separating, and it was everybody was for themselves at a certain point. As at a certain point, we were together, and then at another point, with the situations, well, this situation that I'm speaking about caused us to separate at the most important to me. And maybe that, you know what, maybe I might be selfish for that because it was most important to me. I felt like it should have been most important to everybody. Or maybe I was expecting me out of them. Because it's times where we expect ourselves out of others, right? We expect them to react in the way that we would react, right? Well, I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. I want the Spirit of God to direct me, because the whole reason that I'm doing this video is because of Him. So I don't know if it'll be in this video where I'll get all the way down to it, but all the way down to like how I was raised, and I was raised in church. I had a God-fearing grandmother who raised me. It was my dad's mom. And he has 7 sisters. And I don't want you to think like I don't like, just meeting people, uh friends that I had back in the day, because now I roll by myself, just me and my kids. But back in the day, listening to people's stories about how they were, how hard they had it and how they had to go without food and water and sometimes electricity. I didn't have those problems. I did not. But what I can tell you is the house was still dysfunctional. And being that you are a kid that, has, you know what, I'm going to add a little bit more of chicken broth. Hold on, let me show y'all. Okay, so, just, I don't have those stories. And some of you watching may not either, you know. So, being that my grandparents raised me, when I tell y'all I had my needs and wants, I had toys and everything I asked for. If I didn't get it right then, I eventually got it. So, and some of y'all can relate to this. If I had my needs and my wants, basically. My grandmother never gave us the speech of what goes on in this house stays in this house. She didn't give us that speech. She didn't give me that speech because my dad's sisters were older than me. His baby sister we're like 14 years apart. So I was never given that story. I was never given that. Excuse me. I was never given that uh, rundown. But I was born June 18th, 1980. So you can tell the generation where I came from. So what's understood don't need to be explained. And, as a little kid, first grade, second grade, third grade, everything was good. Everything was good until it wasn't. And so we live like how kids are today. You'll see a video of your kid and they're like just shaking their behind. They just in there getting down. You done open the door and they still doing it. For us, we couldn't even. For us, we wouldn't even talk about none of that growing up with our parents, around our parents, an elder. So we were a close family. We were. I knew nobody other than these people. Now, mind you, you probably say, "Well, where was your mom?" My mom, I had been with my dad's people since I was 2 weeks old. My dad's parents raised me, so I seen more of him than I did her. She was around. She was around, and growing up in a church household, my grandmother was in church, but my grandfather wasn't. Imagine that. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun because you get the watch your mouth, girl. My grandmother, somebody, this is a story she tells. Somebody called her, because I guess she used to be a little bit chubby, and they called her a turd. So you know how you go to school and you got, kids is saying this and saying this. You talk too much. You never shut up. That was the song we used to sing on the bus. So when you learn a song on the bus and you come home, what did you say? Right? So learn the word turd at school. And my grandmother heard me say it. And I'll never forget it. It was like I had said a cuss word. Like I said, the worst word in the world. But, excuse me, it wasn't that I cursed, because I didn't. It was because the little kids at school, the little girls at school, used to call her a fat turd. So I'm just giving you all a background on how I was raised, so that y'all can kind of understand. And I know many of y'all, we was raised Church of God in Christ. And if you know, you know. Sister Jones, Sister Williams, like, they were serious. Only thing you could eat in church was cinnamon candy, peppermint, butterscotch. And it better came out of their purse. You couldn't chew gum, because they'll walk up to you and be like, and you be looking, and you embarrassed. Spit the gum out. Y'all remember them days? Yes. Okay. That's what we working with here. So I'm just trying to give y'all a back, just a little back spill. But I'll get it. Listen, when we get into the videos, I'm gonna start telling y'all more and more and more about. You're gonna get more stories. I'm just trying to let y'all know the type of household I was raised in. And my papa, he liked to drink. My grandma didn't, but my aunties them said that before my grandmother got saved, she gave him a run for his money. They both used to drink. I never seen that side of her. But she got saved. She stopped all that. I'm going to tell y'all that story too. So, I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. And so when God said it to me, I just give me more insight on what. And he wants me to speak about y'all leaving y'all kids. Us leaving our kids, whether you are a single mother, whether you are a single father, or if y'all doing it together. And let me tell y'all, now I'm going to go into it. Woo, shoot. So now I'm going to go into it, because you think you know somebody, right? That raised you in. See, where our mistake is, thinking that we know people. Just like how we go through things every day. Depending on how you take it. Somebody done stole your last that you trusted with your car to just, here, go pay this bill. And then they took it all. Could have been your son, could have been your daughter, could have been your sister, could have been your mama, could have been the play cousin who you've known since yay high. And we trust these people, right? You're not the first, you're not the last, and you're not the only. Trusting somebody with your money and trusting them with your kids is two totally different things. One has a value and the other one doesn't. So Spirit God lead me to get this message out. I never thought it would happen to me. I never thought it would happen to me. And actually, I'm lying right now. Because I never thought about it happening, period. Let alone to me. But also take it like this. I be on social media and I read comments, right? That say, couldn't have been me. You better than me. I couldn't have did it. That right there. What are you going to do when it does become you? What are you going to do? Because I'm going to tell you what I did. It broke me. It broke me. And, all these little girls missing. And if y'all are paying attention to what's going on in the world, it's nothing different that had been happening to like in the Bible times. Mamas was crossing sons. It's nothing different. However, them was them times. And now we're starting to see it more. When somebody shows you who they, I know it's so cliche. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I know it's so cliche. If your people don't like you, and I'm talking about your family members, that's what I'm talking about. If they don't like you, don't trust them around your kids. And this is what I'm talking about. You're like, well, what are you talking about, girl? This is what I'm talking about. Say you at a family function, right? And they be like, I'm going to use me as an example. I'm going to use what was said to me. Here she come with her big water, light skin, looking like a light bulb, looking like a white girl. Self. God, I'm just playing. That kind of stat. And I'm talking about the family members. So see, friends, it is so, friends or people that we call friends, it is so easy. I ain't going to say, for me it was. I speak for myself. For me it was. It's easier to be like, girl, you know what, I ain't fooling with you. But when you're born into something that you have no control over, you can't pick your family, you can't pick your loved ones, you have been around them all your life. And you're a little kid, and you sit down and you crying, and you doing an ugly cry like Latoya old kids say. You doing an ugly cry, and you slide down the ball, and they be like, "What's wrong?" And you a little kid, and they're like, "Man, come on, I got you." Whatever the problem was, they solved it for you as a kid. You 7 years old. They took you to the store, got you some candy, because your mama just ain't came home in 3 days. Or you've been with your grandparents for 2 weeks since you was 2 weeks old. And then you see your mama on the street and you say, hey mama, how you doing? And she don't recognize you because she's too high. Stuff like that. You feel me? Whatever it was, that person that came and saved you, so to speak, you ain't seen them. I know I'm getting my stuff out of the icebox, y'all, because I should have had it ready, but you ain't seen them since you was 7. And all of a sudden you see them at 16. Thinking, oh man, hey, how you been? Hey, man, that's my family. You remember when I was 7 years old and I was crying and you took me to the candy store? You remember when I was 13 years old and the school bully was bullying me and you pulled up in the truck and you said, get in the car, and saved you? Those people, because you a kid, people change and go through situations that change them for either the better or the good. I'm not saying good people turn into bad. Good people can become better, right? But that's not always the case. So look, hold on, y'all. Let me pause this for a second. Patient here. But this is what I'm. So for my Spanish rice, this is what I do. This is how I make my Spanish rice with butter. Can y'all see that? So I'm gonna let the butter melt, and then look, and then what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna take some of these onions and I'm gonna throw them in there. Just throw them in there, right? So, and I'm also, hold on, y'all. Y'all like, where are you moving too much? Because I'm gonna get this garlic, minced garlic out of here. And I just want to do a dab, even though it never comes out like this. See, that's enough right there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it melt, and then my potatoes over there with in my bouillon, chicken bouillon, boiling. So now, hold on, give me just a second. Okay, y'all, I'm back now. So my thing is, you don't know people how you think you know them, and that's what. I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only, and neither are you. So that's where I made my mistake at. It tore me down so bad, y'all. When I tell y'all that what happened to me, and first of all, let me say this. It didn't happen to me. It happened to a child of mine. It happened to a child of mine. And it happened to a child of mine. And now it happened to a child of mine. And yes, you believe your child. Believe your child. Because I did. But what God wants me to speak about, I guess I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Because I guess I'm going to play devil's advocate here. And hold on. Let me show y'all what I'm about to do. Give me a second. So in my butter, I'm going to take my rice. However much rice you want. I think it's just me eating the rice. So, but this is what you want to do. And see, some people use vegetable oil to do it. If that's what you prefer and you on a diet, or you don't want to use margarine, you can go ahead. That's fine. But what you want to do is you want to coat it. You want to get all of your rice coated, all on the side, and you want to have it coated in that butter. I know I got a big old skillet for just a little bit, right? I cracked myself up. Anyway, make sure it's coated with the butter, all of the grains of rice, because you don't want to have your rice mushy, and then the other parts that's on the side is still hard. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? Now look, see this? I'm gonna take this right here, my chicken broth and my bouillon, And I wasted it. And I'm going to pour it on top of my rice. Give me a second because I forgot to get a top because you want to cover it. You want to cover it. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So, and for some of you mothers because not every mother is neglectful. Talk to your daughter or, instill in your kids to come and talk to you. Yeah, you do. You're supposed to. Hold on, y'all. Let me take care of this. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I had to take care of my fire alarm, and it's probably gonna go off again because it's so sensitive. But anyway, so, and I mean like deliberately neglectful because it is neglect. However, right? And I don't want to go into too much detail because now she's 18. This was 6 years ago, so do the math. But my whole thing is not to talk about her situation. Well, it is because I said this. This is what I use. I have 3 boys. 25. Oh, he'll be 25 next month. 24, 22, 19. My girls is 18, 16, and 9. So what I would say is, and they were little. I don't. Maybe it was God that was like, the generation that we were living in. I would tell my girls. They were little. They couldn't even comprehend what I was saying, but they never forget it in case something happened to me. But I would tell my girls, if your brother, they would sit on the couch, brothers over here, excuse me, brothers over here, 3 brothers over here, 3 girls, 2 girls over here at the time. Because I have a 9-year-old, but she didn't come till afterwards. But excuse me, child. The devil, look at him. So I know black people always blaming someone on the devil. You sneeze, you cough. Girl, it ain't nothing but the devil, child. So I would tell my boys and my girls. I tell the girls, you see your brothers right here, and I use the word goosing. And I know I've read some comments and on some posts and stuff. Don't disguise this for this and teach them what it is. But I use goosing. If your brothers was to goose every girl up and down this block, they still be called a man. And if you do it, you'll be called everything but a woman. I said what I said. This was years ago. Look at the world we live in. We got celebrities out here, wannabe celebrities, TikTokers, Instagrammers, Facegram, Instabook, TikTok. You got, and I know my generation is like, who raised these people? Right? Because we didn't carry ourselves that way. Now, if homeboy going goose every girl up and down here, he's going to be still called a man. If you do it, you're going to be called everything but a woman and a child of God. And I believe that. This is something that I came up with while talking to my kids. And we are living it today. So with my girls, I said that to say this. With my boys, they had a curfew. You better not let them street lights hit you, because I couldn't let the street lights hit me. I did, and I ain't even got to tell y'all what happened. I ain't even got to tell y'all what happened, because most of y'all watching this know what happened. I don't care what race you are, because you know that black folks, when they know Mexicans, what they say, the changla, oh yeah, they was getting it too. So I said that to say this. My boys, they could. I very rarely let them spend the night with anybody. But my girls was an absolute no. You can spend they can spend the night here, because I know ain't nobody in here no PD foul. You know, I know that for a fact, and I know the boys I raised. If your homegirls, your friend, best friend, they okay. Everything will be cool. And some people will be like, well, you know what? That's kind of, yeah, you can call it what you want to call it. But like I said, they are more than welcome to spend the night in my house. Bring your mamas, bring your daddies. And 9 times out of 10, the ones who were spending the night in my house, because I had 5 kids. I had 5 kids. And 9 times out of 10, they had been in my house anyway. Have your mama come and meet me. Fine. They're welcome to stay. Whoever the parents were, because we lived in this neighborhood for a while, like since my oldest son was 9 up until he was 16. So the kids that he was dealing with, hold on, let me turn my AC on, girl. Hot flashes. Hold up. So, hold on, it didn't click on. Hold up. And y'all know what? Let me tell y'all. Yes, you're like, girl, yes, I'm 44 and I am in premenopause. Okay. I don't know if it's all the kids or whatever, but the doctor has confirmed it. And it really is a flash. I'm like so serious. Like, I could be cold one moment and then hot the next. And then I'll kick the covers off and then I get cold again. It is just, but they say it only lasts a year and a half, 2 years. It's been a year already. So hopefully I only got maybe another year. But anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. So most of the kids that were there, they had spent the night or whatever already. The boys. But, like, oh, is it okay? Like, I cook and then Miss Reed, it's y'all, Miss Rika. It smell good. Can we make sure it's okay with your mama? Because if my kids come home and I done made all this food without asking, it's gonna be a problem. So anyway, my boys I would let spend the night. But my girls, I think I cooked that one a little bit too much. But my girls was an absolute no. But guess what I did? Only place they could spend the night was with the people that raised me. Family. Only people that knew me better than I knew myself. You hear me? I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. So those of you who have not been through it, thank God. And we're going to pray that devil off in the name of Jesus. Those of you who have been through it, it was a family member. And let me tell y'all something. The statistics show that it's not a stranger. 9 times out of 10, if it has happened to you, it was somebody that you know. And if it has happened to your child, it was somebody that you knew. And I ain't talking about them. I ain't talking about them scalawags who gave their kids to the perp. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those of us who mothers talk to our kids. and who entrusted our family with our children. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to say that flour for some gravy because I told y'all I was going to smother the rest of them, right? I'm going to fry them out, but I'm going to smother the gravy. But I'm talking about those who, and you're like, oh, those who entrusted our kids with our family members because they raised us. I'm not the first, I'm not the last, and I'm not the only. When I tell you I was in a state of shock when it happened, you know, and probably because now I know it's a brainwashing situation, but as a kid, and then I felt bad, right? Because of my mom and my dad. My mom was on drugs since second grade, and my daddy, he all I seen was his back. He come in and he just didn't want a daughter. But I'll tell y'all. I guess I'll tell y'all. I was in my 40s. I'm 44 today. As of today, I don't have any daddy issues. My daddy just passed July 31st of 2024. But before that, it was like a year. I think I'm 2 years before this. I was having some serious mama and daddy issues to the point I think God just got tired and was like, you know what? I was saving this for later, but I'm gonna tell you now. Your mama and your daddy, God came and spoke to me and told me that my mama and my daddy was not even supposed to have me. He used them as vessels to bring me here. That my grandmother was supposed to raise me from the beginning because my grandmother knew God. If it wasn't for like say my grandma would have been, because you know it's very rare that the daddy's mama raises. It's usually the mama's mama. So say I'd have been left with my mom. I couldn't have been who I am today. My daddy's mama was a God-fearing woman. And what let me tell y'all, I never saw it. I never saw it. I never saw it. That woman, my grandmother, Big Mama, and I gave her that name because I'm the oldest grandchild. They said she used to cuss, she used to smoke cigarettes and fight with my grandma. I never saw it. And she got saved. And God. And if y'all think I'm if you don't believe me, go look on my Sharika Montgomery Facebook post. She had 7 girls, 1 boy, 8 kids. The day she got saved, God told her, if you give me my life, what do you want? And she asked God to not take her kids before her or without them being saved. My grandmother just passed 2021 with all 8 of her kids. That's very rare. Okay? I ain't done. I'm not done. Y'all, these ribs looking good. And I was like, you know what? Who want to deep fry pork? Because pork is already bad itself, but it's looking good, y'all. I know we do pork chops, but the riblets are, they supposed to be placed in the oven, not really breaded, but it's looking real good. Y'all want to see? Look, let me show you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And now look, so I'm going to take these the last ones, right? So I'm going to take these and I'm a smother them. So, and I'm also make me a cake, but that's gonna be another video. I'm gonna show y'all how to. And I know y'all. Some of y'all be like, "Girl, we already knew that." I know. But for some people who don't, because when I did Spanish rice, I looked up the recipe, and I was doing it with oil, and I was like, it don't taste like the Spanish rice I like. And then I substituted the more excuse me, the more I would follow the other recipe with the chicken broth, and you supposed to use. Damn it, what is it? Chicken base. But I was like, it don't taste like the one I like. So I used margarine, and bam, there it goes. Hold on. Okay, y'all, let me show y'all a little bit of potatoes, but I put the fresh parsley in there, and I want y'all to see how my riblets turned out. So, and this is my Spanish rice. So give me a second, and I'll be right back.